Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead. Today I have a slightly different video for you. I don't have any food banks this week, which is normally one of my two videos that I put out each week. And I don't have any, so I wasn't going to have a video in the middle of this week. And so I was trying to think of something to film. And a couple of people have asked for ideas on how to be frugal and frugal activities and those kind of things. And so I every spring and summer and then every fall and winter, the kids and I make this list. And we add to it and change it, and we've got some that are always the same thing, but they are all things that we do that are either free or really inexpensive. We as a family have never taken a family vacation. We've just never, every time we save up the funds for it, a car breaks down or we have to replace the furnace or something comes up. So I was trying to come up with ways that my kids would have memories made every summer without a big vacation. And when I was a kid, we used to go camping out on the Ohio River a lot. And it was just something that I so distinctly remember. Like I can still smell it, taste it, hear it, feel it, the whole thing. And so I wanted those memories for my kids. And so, like I said, every year we make up two lists. So I will show you the winter fall list when we make it this fall. But I figured I would show you the spring and summer. So spring and summer fun for 2022 is the title. So this is just a standard piece of cardstock that I have made this kind of chart on. You could totally do it on the computer. I'm just not super computer literate. But we list things like anybody in our household that has birthdays. Okay, so I guess I should note, for safety, security reasons, I do not give out my location, and I'm not going to give out the names of my children or myself. So I have redacted those things, and I'll explain them as I go down the list. But I list birthdays because those are a fun thing. And then the other thing that doesn't change is the holidays. So we have Easter and Passover, Valentine's Day, 4th of July, Mother's Day, and Father's Day. So obviously we've already gotten to mark some of these off, which is fun. Other things that we do, camp out in the backyard. We bought a very large, like 2-room tent. I think it says 12 people, I think 10 or 12 people, which obviously that's like cram packed in. We bought one on discount a few years ago, and boy howdy, we use that thing. My kids and I sleep out in the backyard several times a year for multiple days in a row. So that's always something fun. Fly kites. We go to the Dollar Tree and buy cheap kites. We do have 2 kites that we've spent a little bit more on, like $10, $15 a piece. And then my mom and dad have also gotten them kites for Easter a couple of times. Visit a playground. We like to visit multiple playgrounds. We have several. There are some that are closer to our church that we like to go to, but that's just kind of one of those. A water fight is sometimes it's as simple as I buy some squirt guns from the Dollar Tree, water balloons from the Dollar Tree. We've bought like cheap sponges and soak those, and we just put buckets all over the front yard of water and have a gay old time throwing water at each other. Both of these are the state park that are near us, and they have a swimming place, and then you can also hike. State parks are a great inexpensive resource. It is $7 for a carload to get in our state. And that's the one-time fee. You can also, if you live close to one, ours has a $50 season pass, which is also a great option if you know you're going to go a whole lot. Friends over for dinner is a simple one. A lot of times we'll do this and have a backyard fire and have friends come over. Go fishing. There are, check your local DNR website. Most states have free fishing days where you do not have to have a fishing license. And it's like 4 or 5 days a year. If not, you might know somebody that has a pond that would let you come and fish. There's some pay lakes around us that allow that. Ice cream is, we have a local ice cream shop that's not super expensive. I think the kids, like little kids cup size, is $1. So that's a good option we can get ice cream for our entire family for under $10. Geocaching is an interesting one, and I think I have that spelled wrong, so don't knock me for it. Geocaching is something that you can look up online to find more information on. You can use the GPS on a smartphone, or if you have a TomTom type device, you can use it, and people hide little caches. A lot of times they're in like little plastic containers or Rubbermaid totes, that kind of thing, and you can go and find them. And there's everything from like teeny tiny ones all the way up to like full-size Rubbermaid totes. So that's something that's neat, and also kind of gets your kids out and doing different things. Vacation Bible School is another great option for cheap or free. Most of the ones around us are free. If you get into the bigger cities, a lot of times they'll charge. All I have in that one is gas, get my kids to and from. So Aaron's Creek is, we have a neighbor that lets us come and play in their woods. We live on 2 acres, but we don't have any woods. We don't have water, but we butt up to his property and he allows us to come and play in his creek. 2 kids being baptized this summer needs to happen. I have my oldest 2 that have accepted Jesus into their heart, and I think my 3rd one is probably on the verge. And so we have been discussing taking them to this lake and having our neighbor, who is also a pastor, and his family meet us there, and our family, and get them baptized. So that was something exciting to put on there. See a parade, again, another free thing. Most of our towns around us have a Labor Day parade or a Memorial Day, 4th of July, something along those lines. So a parade is a nice, inexpensive or free option. If you go, just don't buy the junk food. We a lot of times end up taking snacks and sitting and eating on, in the meantime, waiting for the parade to start. Splash pad, we are lucky, and we have 2 free splash pads in the towns that are, one is to one side of us and one is to the other side of us. So we have been to the one that is in the nearest town to us, but we haven't been to this one, just got put in last year. So the kids are excited to go try that. And that kind of also plays in with the playground is there as well. So stargazing is a fun one. There is an app. I will try to remember to put the name of it in the description. There's an app that you can use on your smartphone, and you point your phone at the sky and it will tell you what the names of stars, constellations, what planets that you can see, those kind of things, and it's really neat. So this one's just a fun one. If you live in town, obviously this one won't work as well, but you could totally get a friend that lives out in the country, or a nice rural park that allows you to go out after dark and lay a blanket out and just look at the stars. It's amazing how the longer you lay there, the deeper into space you can see. It's so neat. A woods walk is once again our friend Aaron that has woods beside us, allows us to go and play in his woods. So we love to take walks. Once again, that's a free activity. If you don't have woods, once again, those national parks is a great option. Or national or state parks. A bike ride, another easy one. We live out in the country and we can take a bike ride out on our country roads anytime that we want to, but it's just one of those things that we get to mark it off that way. Hike a blank trail. This is a national trail that is close to us. Most major towns and even a lot of small towns have trails that you'll allowed to walk or ride on. This one is an unpaved, it's like rock and compacted dirt, and it's a long one. It goes off, I think, 5 miles in one direction and 10 miles in the other direction. So that's a fun one that we like to hit every year. Cousins Weekend is, my mom and dad have 10 grandkids, and every summer my mom pulls out all of the stops and she plans a big shebang that we get together for usually a 3-day weekend, and we camp out in the backyard. My mom cooks all the junk food. We usually make homemade ice cream. We go swim at a family friend's pool. We usually do some kind of craft, like we have done tie-dyeing. We've done like painting rocks, those kind of things. She does yard games, like water games, those kind of things. And then also it's just a time for all of the cousins to really spend a solid weekend hanging out and getting to know each other better and growing up together. So that is so much fun. Plant the garden. Obviously, this is work/fun. This is something that I enjoy, but it's also just nice to be able to chalk that off and say, hey, we got this done. And my kids also, every year, I try to section off a certain part of the garden where each one of them either gets to plant something in their area of the garden that they want to. My daughter, a lot of times, my oldest, picks flowers, or I put them in charge of one type of plant. So maybe they take over the watermelon for the year, and it's their job to water it, to weed it, to harvest it. And then it's so neat to be able to sit down at the table and say, oh, thank you for growing this watermelon for us. It was so delicious. And they get to have the fun of getting the praise for growing that. Bubble fun is similar to water fight. This is, I go to the Dollar Tree once again and buy some cheap bubbles. You can get a kiddie pool and pour like a half an inch, not even like a quarter of an inch of bubbles in the bottom, and then use a hula hoop and get inside of the bubble, blowing bubbles at each other, just anything bubbly that you can think of to do. You could also do like a kiddie pool with water and bubbles in it, pour dish soap or bubble bath in it. The trick on that one is to take a whisk out there and just really vigorously whisk, and you'll make lots and lots of bubbles. So that one is fun. My kids like playing Bubble Kitchen. Smith's Creek is another one of those, like Aaron's Creek. This is another neighbor that allows us to come and play, and we actually just did this on Memorial Day, so that one got X'd out. Camping out not at home. This one may not be an option for you. We have not done this one yet. I have always had little bitties, and so that makes camping somewhere besides home a little bit more difficult. So this year we're talking about the possibility of trying it, possibly going to a state park. Also, like Cousins Weekend would count for that because we're camping not at home. The other option is if you can't camp out, if you don't have a tent, do a camp out in the living room. Set up pallets for everybody to sleep on. You could totally put in a movie and watch a movie until everybody goes to sleep. Popcorn. You could do flashlights and tell scary stories, or do all of the activities that you would normally do in a camping out. You can make s'mores in your kitchen. Turn your burner on to high. If you have a gas burner, I don't know that you would have to, I've never tried it over a gas burner, but I have totally done it over a conventional like coil oven. Turn your burner on high, and you can totally use a chopstick and make s'mores over your stove. Ha! And then this one we just started today, the summer reading program at our library, is another great free option. Ours does, they give out a treat on the first day. They've done ice cream, they've done snow cone, they've done like cookies and milk, those kind of things. And then every week our librarian plans some kind of little activity or craft that goes along with the theme for the year. So every week you can come back in. And last year, so they have a way that you can either do it online or on paper, and you record how much you read. And last year, our family won. And we won free tickets to this state park. We got free pizzas from a local pizza place. They gave us a gift card for Starbucks, which my husband was super excited about. It was like this whole package because our family as a whole had read the most books, and we read like a ridiculous amount of books. It was like 50 some books. Plus all of the minutes that my little guys, so the little guys get counted as minutes, and then the big kids and adults have to read chapter books. But yeah, so those are all great free or inexpensive options. If you have any more ideas, please share, because look, I have 4 more spots and I would love to fill those in. A lot of times we end up coming up with something to fill those in. But if you have other ideas, share. What are some fun things that your family does every spring and summer that are free or cheap, or like I know there's some movie theaters that run some specials during the summer for kids. There's some bowling places that do free kids bowling. There's some roller skating rinks that do inexpensive nights where like all you have to do is pay for your roller skating fee. I know those are ones that I have seen in other towns not close to us, but these are all great options on inexpensive ways to have fun and make memories with your kids that don't cost an arm and a leg. You don't have to spend $500 and go to an amusement park. You don't have to spend $100 or $1,000 and go to Disneyland. You don't have to. You can do inexpensive things and still make memories with your kids. So yeah, once again, if you have any great ideas, send them my way because I love to fill this list up. We don't always finish the entire list. In fact, I don't think we have ever finished the entire list, but it's fun seeing how many we can get done. So, like I said, I will, in the fall and winter, when we make this list again, I'll try to remember to post a video on that because it's a whole different list. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have a great day. Go out and make some memories with your children and with yourself. Goodbye and God bless.